Commissioner, we know. I mean, it's not a secret that the state as it is today doesn't want the media to cover the anti-government protests. But I mean, this is a breach of the law, and it looks like criminal acts. What should the government do?
I'm not sure.
What do you expect?
I'm not sure the state doesn't want you to cover. I'm not sure that's a very accurate assessment. Maybe there's one or two people who might not be happy, and the biasness has always been called to question. But it's if I want you or don't want you, it doesn't really matter. Why? Because your role is very specific in the Constitution,
right,
and in the Communication Act of Kenya. And you have a body, the Media Council of Kenya, that oversees you, and you have your own union. So it's, whether I like it or not, it's pointless. Just think about it to put it in perspective. The headline right now, and we're talking about, we're covering somebody. We're covering people who are supposed to cover news for us. Okay, those who are supposed to bring headlines have become the headline today.
They become the story.
They become the story. The person who gives the story has become the story now, and that's a dangerous discourse. But I think to me, one of the best ways that can be approached is through your professional bodies, through the Media Council of Kenya, because you cut across all media houses. And also, for me, this reminds me of when you watch American movies, where there's a cop, when cops get killed, all the cops rally around that specific, because it's a blue line, it's a line you don't cross. And I think I like the unity of all the media houses that I've seen coming today. But just to be on record also, I don't think it's really the government position that they want you to cover. They may cover they question how you're covering it, but cover you must. It's not, I don't think they don't want you to cover, because you must cover. And if you don't, we still have international media that is here. Al Jazeera actually covers this almost wall to wall. BBC, because we watch all media houses because of our mandate. So we know who's covering what at what time. Right. So we do that. So everybody is what the whole world is watching, and the genie's out of the box. You can't put it back.
The government has actually say they don't want us to cover. I mean,
really?
Yes.
They have said this is unlawful, illegal. So why are you covering illegal demonstration? And also, the Communication Authority of Kenya last week wanted to censure us, but somebody went to court, and that was quashed. Some would say this is a plan B to them.
Well, it's not working, and again, you're giving authority to the whole thing, right. And this is not how to do it. And if you also advise on strategy, this is not the way to do it, because sometimes you let things die the natural death, and people get bored. We live in a day in TikTok age where the attention cycle is very short, so a new cycle is always. And you cover the story today, then something happens and people forget about it happened. So sometimes you just let it die in a natural news cycle. I mean, if you've been in media, you understand the news cycle. So this is not the way actually to go. If
all right.
Yeah.
Rosalind, you've been following this quite closely. What would your message be to the Media Council, the Kenya Union of Journalists, the Kenya Editors Guilds, the Communication Authority of Kenya?
Actually, Ben, these institutions, I think, have been standing and pushing for press freedom. First, if you look at even when the Communications Authority was actually telling media that they are not supposed to cover the protest live, what they failed to understand is that when it comes to the issues of ethics, they actually domicile at the Media Council of Kenya. So that was actually supposed to have been a mandate of the Media Council of Kenya.
Not the Communication Authority,
Not
right?
the Communications Authority.
All right.
Two, if you look at the Media Council, we have a code of conduct for the practicing of journalists, which is like our second Bible. It is something that actually guides how we work. And also in the newsrooms, we have the editorial policies that we look into. And the associations that we belong to also have codes that we are supposed to follow. So when they say that they are having issues, there are always channels of how you can actually lodge your complaint. Here at Nation, we have the public editor. You can actually raise that even through the public editor and the editors. So in a way, if they feel aggrieved, there are so many channels of the way you can actually raise these concerns. But the sustained attack at journalists, and remember it started with the Kericho senator Aaron Cheriot, who is just not anybody. He's a Senate majority leader. It follows again with now the National Assembly majority leader. And even the statements that we've been hearing from the politicians actually point to a way that if you cannot actually play by what we want, then we are going to go to public lynching. And that is what they are doing in their social media platforms. And I don't think that is the way to go. Because again, media cannot say that from where we sit, we have monopoly of everything. But those channels of raising concerns should actually be addressed. Two, when it comes to the issues of safety and security of journalists, I think this is a time where we need to actually hear that loud silence of the Interior Cabinet Secretary. Can he now come out and commit that is going to protect the journalist? Can we hear the Inspector General of Police? He was very loud on Sunday when he was talking about the protest, and even issued a statement on Wednesday. Why not when the journalists have been attacked? Because these are the same people you expect to actually channel the issues that you're putting across. To our journalists, even as you go to these events, just know that the surrounding environment is also not safe. So you need to look at how best you take care of yourself. And even not forgetting those in the field. You can actually see the stress that the colleagues and editors went through, even in the newsrooms, where we don't know where your colleagues are or their status. So I think this is the time that the associations need to come together. The journalists themselves need to be their brothers' keepers.